Are you ready for the neutrals?
Okay, how do you want to do neutrals? I don't think we want to go through all of the neutrals. Um,
If we see one we don't want to talk about, we can just skip it.
what if
How
we
about that?
did legendaries, epics, and rares normally, and then we'll just scan through the commons and just pick the ones we want to talk about.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's go
Uh,
for the old gods, baby.
okay. Cthulhu the Shattered. 10 mana 6/6 battle cry break into pieces. There are four spells that get shuffled into your deck at the beginning of the game, and then once you play them all, you reassemble Cthulhu. It gets shuffled into your deck. Then when you play it, it has Battle Cry. Deal 30 damage randomly split among all enemies.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
We have
Have you seen the graph about this one?
no. You've told me about the graph because I was saying it was a pretty good card in your stream, and then you and either Alex, Kyle, or Gus were saying I was an idiot,
You
and
are an idiot.
I'm
This card is bad.
okay. Now that I can vocalize myself and not have to type through my computer to explain my thought process, this card is not going to fit into every deck. I will 100% agree with that. This goes in the attrition control decks that look to push the game to fatigue with Elysiana. You just take out Elysiana, run this instead, and then you beat every other control deck in the game.
I want Elysiana over this card, I think.
Why? This ends the game.
No,
Elysiana?
it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Deal 30 damage randomly split amongst all enemies.
Yeah,
I have 3 or 4 minions.
no, because
You're doing like 10 to my face.
Not true. Incorrect. Try again.
What about I'm Priest Galakron?
Well, that's fine, but you're dead because I've hit you in the face for 30 damage.
No, because I'm Priest Galakron and I have minions on the board.
Mm,
Or, okay, so, okay, let's think about this. Think about it this way.
okay.
What control mill deck do you want to be playing?
Warrior.
Warrior. What control mill deck do you want to be going up against?
None because I lose to all of those as warrior.
We did it. We've solved it.
And why
We've
no?
done it, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Why know why I don't want to? Because I have no win condition. Cthulhu's my win condition now.
Okay. You are gonna lose.
It's not true because now I win because I have Cthulhu. I don't think this card is as bad as you're saying it is, and I'm accepting that this card is not as good as I'm saying it is.
It's very bad.
It's not. It's like if
Okay,
I
so
think
you saw the graph. This comes out on average turn 30.
perfect, not the turn limit.
Not the turn limit, but if I'm playing Priest Galakron, your resources are gone, and I'm hitting you for like 8 a turn because minions are on the board.
Mm,
Or, hear me out,
okay.
you're playing Control Warlock,
Okay.
and you're incredibly dead because I've milled 10 of your cards, including probably a Cthulhu piece.
Okay.
Or like Highlander Mage, and they counterspell this. Or like a million reasons why this is so fragile, and it is so fragile, and then comes out on turn 30.
Okay. I'm gonna type a number,
Okay,
and then we'll just move on.
okay.
How do we feel about this?
Very poor. I think it's a 2 at best.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
I
I could
think
be wrong too,
I
because
I think I think you're right. I think Control Warrior does lose to a lot of control decks because it can't keep up with the value generation. But I think if there's attrition control decks within the meta that look to just run everything to the turn limit, this card helps curb those out a little bit more than other cards.
I guess. My thought is, what's making those decks good is a card like Cthulhu, but Cthulhu is not making those decks good.
Well,
But I don't know, like
I
things like the other old gods. I think we've talked about Cthulhu enough. Everybody knows you think it's great. I think it's absolute dog shit.
I will be more than happy to die on this hill, but if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and I will accept that.
Yes. Sounds good.
Okay, you want to do the next one?
Yeah, 10 mana. Mazoth. My favorite old god of the last set. God of the Deep. Battlecry, resurrect a friendly minion of each type.
What do you think?
Hey, it's a 10 mana card.
Yeah.
Those are typically bad.
Its effect has been neutered so much.
Here, let me pitch something to you like an old-timey salesman. Are you ready?
Yes. Can you do the voice?
Hey.
Yes, thank you for the voice.
Hey, man. Are you looking for a new win condition?
Yeah, I am. How'd you know?
Oh, I've got just the thing for you. Now, it's 10 mana.
Okay.
You have to build your deck around it.
Okay.
And if you don't build your deck around it perfectly, and if you don't resurrect taunt minions or rush minions that are large, you're gonna fucking die.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So I am saying there's a chance. Big Druid, that's a good example. You res a bunch of
Winged Guardians.
You res like 2 big things.
Winged Guardians.
And you say cool.
The Scrapyard Elemental, the 10 mana 7/7, whatever it's called. No demons that are good and neutral.
I think this is a card that you put in a deck that already has a couple tribes in it. Like big Druid. I don't think I'm building a deck for Mazoth, because if that deck was already good, Mazoth would just be making it better. I don't think it'd make it a deck.
So.
Because okay, give me a second.
No, I think you're right. I think that
you're good. Whatever you want.
This effect is much worse than just reviving Death Rattles. I think you're also right. If you put this card in your deck, it's because you've already won the game, and this just helps you win the game better.
Yeah.
But because Big Druid doesn't need Mazoth to win. It wins because it has 2 8/10 elusive minions with taunt that have hit you in the face twice now.
Yeah, you're dead to Big Druid. Yeah. Yeah, so best thing would be like Scrapyard Colossus, Evasive Draconoid, Safeguard, and then like your 6 mana Druid minion, your Winged Guardian.
Yeah.
And I think Druid's like the class that could want it. I looked at Pit Commander, 9 mana 7/9 taunt minion from Demon Hunter.
Yep.
I want things that do things immediately, and they need to have a tribe associated to them, and I need to pretty much already be playing those tribes, because I don't want to have to build my deck around.
Here's a question
kind of shaky tribe thing.
I don't know the answer to. Does it pull back a non-tribal minion with its effect, or does
I don't think so. I think it's just tribes.
Just tribes, okay. Because I know in Battlegrounds there's some of the cards that give buffs to non-tribal minions, but
that was one thing. Yeah. That was Tyrion.
No, it's one of the new teapot cards. Does it too, I think.
I don't think that doesn't target tribes. Things without tribes, they have to have tribes. Okay, I think he's a 2.
Yeah. He'll be if he's good, it's because your deck is already good.
Yeah, it's a finisher. It's better than Cthulhu, but all right. Yashiraj is an actual finisher.
Yashiraj, the Defiler, 10 mana, 10/10. Battle cry: add a copy of each corrupted card you played this game to your hand. They cost 0 this turn.
So now, instead of just getting, so this is basically Mazoth but better, right? Because instead of just putting them on the board, I'm getting their battle cries. I don't have to just have a slew of random tribes. They can be whatever cards I want. They have to be corrupt minions. I have to have had corrupted them, which I think fits with Yashiraj because it costs 10 mana. So I need to plan on getting 2 10 mana I need to be more of a control-y deck, or that Shaman combo deck I was talking about yesterday.
The deck we're gonna co-op on day one. Yes, I do.
Yeah, this is my favorite old god because I think it's the most playable.
Is your favorite new old god or favorite old god in general?
New old god because Mazoth is Pog.
So I want to give this card a 5, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because
I'm ready.
You're right. You need to build a deck in a specific way, but this card makes that specifically built deck good.
It has a better payoff than the Mazoth build around.
Yes.
And some of the corrupt cards, I mean, guaranteed, we did not give a lot of corrupt cards any super good marks.
So,
but like
the corrupt cards that are sorry.
There's some neutral ones we haven't talked about that I kind of want to talk about.
The corrupt cards that are good are the ones that the classes can utilize to their full potential.
Yeah, and they're the ones that are slow, and so they pair with Yashiraj fairly well because Yashiraj are slow.
So I'm going to I think this card can be a 5 because it does make that corrupted archetype work than if it didn't exist. If you just ran corrupted cards, it would just be, I'm running a slow control deck that runs out of gas. This makes it so you get a refill and probably kill your opponent in a turn or two after this is played.
Yeah, I think it's 5, sure. Could be a 5 or a 4. I think that's good.
Do you want to co-op a corrupt warlock deck on day one also?
Yeah, cool. Definitely. Cool. Yogg.
Yogg Saron, Master of Fate, 10 mana, 7/5. Its stats don't matter.
Yogg. Okay, go.
Battle cry if you cast 10 spells this game. Spin the wheel of Yogg. I don't have the wheel here. Do you remember what's on the wheel? Okay, what's on the wheel?
So it's 20% chance to do 5 different things, and then 5% chance for Rod of Roasting. I think we kind of just ignore that.
So Rod of Roasting is cast Pyroblast randomly until one hero dies.
Yogg 5 stars. Yeah, I think we ignore it. It's 5% chance. It's also like you have no control over it. Whatever. Don't care. But the other ones are fill your hand with random spells. They cost 0 this turn. Fill your boards with random minions. Give them rush. Take control of 3 random enemy minions. The original Yogg, and then destroy all other minions. Gain their attack and health.
Okay.
Those are all pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Those all do things to the board for 10 mana. They can take control of 3 enemy minions. That's pretty good. Mystery Box, of course, is probably going to do something to the board. Hand of Fate is going to give me spells that I can do things to the board.
Yep.
Fill the board with random minions with Rush. I can do things to the board. And Devouring Hunger kills the board.
Yeah.
And then Rod of Roasting kills somebody, but that card doesn't exist.
So,
as Nenko says, that card doesn't exist. That card doesn't exist.
This card also.
I think this is a playable old god.
This is the most playable card because you don't need to build a deck around it. You just need to have spells in your deck.
Yeah.
And
I think it's 5.
I think it's a 5.
I think it's a good finisher in a lot of decks. It does things to the board, and that's what I like 10 mana spells to do.
I'm gonna type out a 6, and I'm not gonna press enter yet. I want to tell you why I think it could be a 6.
Is it going to get nerfed because they're going to remove the Rod of Roasting?
This is the most likely card to be changed in its lifetime in the current expansion. Rod of Roasting,
probably.
It's not going to be nerfed because it's too powerful. It's going to be nerfed for the same reason that Kel'Thas, Elusiana, Guardian Druid, Guardian Animals, and were those cards nerfed because it wasn't that they were really just the best cards. It was because they created awful play patterns, and this creates some awful play patterns.
Yeah, if I'm playing Yogg, I never wanted to hit Rod of Roasting ever, even if my opponent's at 1 and I'm at 70. I don't want to take that chance. I would rather just fill the board with rush minions.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told you yesterday. Blur into Yogg.
A blur into a 5% chance.
But on that 5% chance, not only do you win, but you goes on Trollden too.
Does go on Trollden day 1, that's true. Carnival Clown. Taunt. Battlecry, summon 2 copies of this. Taunt, 9 mana 4/4. Taunt, Battlecry, summon 2 copies of this. Corrupt, fill your board with copies. How do you feel about this card, Sam?
Okay. So I don't think that this card is great. I think even for its effect, it's too slow. I don't want to be summoning. I mean, 9 mana 12/12 is not bad, but then I have to. If I want to get the corrupt, I got to play a 10 cost. And let's say I put this in a corrupt warlock. The only 10 cost I'm putting in that deck is Yashiraj, and I'm not playing this. I'm not playing Yashiraj before this, and I'm not playing an uncorrupted version of this.
Okay, I have something else to say.
Okay.
This isn't a neutral card.
If it's Darkmoon Rabbit, I'm ending the call right now.
No.
Okay.
Carnival Clown. Carnival Clown is not a neutral card because it's a druid card.
Oh yeah, it kind of is.
You play Survival of the Fittest. This card becomes an 8/8 that fills your board with 8/8s. You can play Survival of the Fittest because you're druid. You can play things like the 3 mana or the 0 mana 3/5 taunt. You can play things like there's another card that costs 0 and is huge when you play this thing. So this card is 5 stars, maybe 6, because it makes druid insane.
I don't like the words you just said.
No, I don't either. I don't want this card. It's just another board for druid and 1 card.
Yeah.
We're not playing Mount Seller because this card is 8 better. We're playing Kael'thas. Ooh, wait, no, Kael'thas doesn't trigger.
No, it doesn't.
I think we might still be playing Kael'thas, but...
Turns out 1 mana, give all minions in your hand, deck, and field +4/+4 is pretty good.
I think we're playing Survival Druid, and I think it's gonna be good. And I think with, the eclipses, solar and lunar eclipse, we can get there easily. This card's gonna happen. It's gonna be a full board of 8/8s on turn 7.
Sometimes a full board of 12/12s too. I'm gonna give it a 5. I don't think it's a 6. I don't think this card gets nerfed. Cards that make this good get nerfed.
That's true. Maybe. I think this card might get changed, but yeah, maybe. I think it'll say summon another Carnival Clown.
Yeah, fill your board with Carnival Clowns. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll give it the chain gang.
I do kind of think that idea that you have is good. I think if that board happens, I'm bottom writing as soon as that happens. I think creating that board state is a lot harder in practice than it is in theory.
Druid has a lot of ease creating large board states.
Yeah, I know they do. I'm not saying it's impossible. I am saying that it isn't the easiest. Yeah. It won't be the easiest thing. It's not as easy as just, turn 7, now I have a board full of 8/8s. It's not going to happen that
Anyway,
often.
best Druid card of the set, Darkmoon Rabbit. 10 mana 1/1. Oof. Rush, poisonous. Okay. Also damages the minions next to whom it attacks. Okay. I don't want to play this card.
No, I don't either. I don't really like this
It's cool. It's awesome. I love that they printed it. It's cute. It's perfect. It's just not good.
I like the references a lot to Monty Python.
Other things. Ooh, actually, this has got to have a card text, right?
Yeah, look it up. If it's not related to Monty Python, I'm never playing a Blizzard game.
It's gotta be.
I'm never playing a Blizzard game again.
Darkmoon Rabbit. That's no ordinary rabbit. That's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you've ever set eyes on.
Yep, that's
pretty sure that's
Monty Python. Yep,
for sure. Cool.
So
okay, hold on.
Okay.
Do you know the Cthulhu card text?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, it's a good one. It says, "My grandfather's deck has no useless cards."
Is that what it is? It's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Yeah, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
That's good.
I think this card's a 1.
Yeah,
no. I don't think we're playing it.
No one's playing this card.
It's 100 dust. Okay, hold on. It comes out for 1 mana if I play the Warlock Legendary.
Oh yeah, it does. So then it's a 10/1. So it still dies.
I don't care if it's a 10/1. It still dies to a ping. I think it's still a 1. We're not putting it in that deck.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
Horrendous.
You want to get this one?
I want to talk about this card a little bit. Horrendous Growth. 2 mana 2/2 corrupt, gain +1/+1. Can be corrupted endlessly. I like this card a lot. This slots pretty easily into any control deck that wants to take the game to a really long game, because then you just play out a big 2 mana 16/16 and your opponent cries about it.
I think you're really wrong.
I'd appreciate it if you said that a bit more respectfully, but okay, why am I wrong?
You son of a bitch, you smell, and you're incredibly wrong about this card.
Wow, I took a shower.
Why am I playing a 2 mana 16/16 when I could just be playing other things in Warrior, like Grom or Ranelgor
there
or
are other
Olusiana?
control decks besides Warrior.
What do you mean?
There's
I'm
other
playing Priest Galakron in Priest. I don't need this card. And I'm playing Mill in Control
has
Warlock,
not
and I
been
don't
played
need
in
this card.
Priest in forever.
What?
Priest is
If
not...
I'm playing, okay, but the idea that you're pitching is a fatigue deck.
Yes.
If I'm building Fatigue Priest, Galakron's going in it. I don't need this card. It's cool. If you run it, I'm gonna be upset when a 2 mana 16/16 comes out on the board.
Yeah, and you'll die because you'll get hit in the face for 16.
No, I'm gonna coerce it or assassinate it or brawl or.
Wanna know what you're gonna do? You're gonna play the one of the Yogg spells that destroys an enemy minion. No, the Cthulhu spell that does that.
Yeah, like this is a late game card that is just big. I want big things early, and I'd rather play Elysiana or other cards.
Don't want to play Luciana. It's not what I want to do in my control matchups.
I don't either, but that's better.
It's not. 16/16 is better than 9 mana 7/7.
Yeah, but you just lose to fatigue.
Fine.
I remove this card. You can't remove 10 cards from your deck. Well, Warrior can, or Warlock can now.
Warlock can now.
It's fine.
It's a 2.
Perfect. Which is why I'm not playing that card in Warlock either.
Fine.
Derailed Coaster. 5 mana 3/2.
Moving on.
Summon a 1/1 rider with rush for each minion in your hand.
Remember that Warrior card that was a death rattle?
Yeah.
This is better, but it also costs 5, so it's really not much better, but it's more impactful.
So at best, I'm getting 6 1/1 rushes for 5 mana with the 3/2 body.
For some reason, you have a bunch of minions in your hand you haven't played by turn 5.
It is each minion. Yeah, this card's a 1. Yeah. Even for 6 minions, I don't think I would play it because I can play better things.
It's a pretty decent arena card, but that's about it.
Yep.
How do you pronounce this guy?
Cather.
Cather Ritualist. 3 mana 4/4 taunt. Battlecry. Summon a random 4. Add a random 4-cost minion to your opponent's hand. This is not that good.
So it's doing 2 things. It's being a tempo card, but a 3 mana 4/4 tempo card is fine. Ish. It's also putting an extra card in your opponent's hand, so they might mill a card. Okay. I don't know if I want to do that.
It's also giving your opponent something to do on the turn after you play this.
They were probably going to do something other anyway. Yeah. But, yeah. I don't think it's great. I think it's pack filler. I think it's a cool pack filler.
It's a cool pack filler. It's going to be in some trolled in videos where they mill stuff, but that's about it. Okay, Safety Inspector. Last rare. 1 mana 1/3. Battlecry. Shuffle the lowest cost card from your hand into your deck, then draw a card. What do you think about this one?
I really like 1 mana 1/3s, but I really don't like it when they take my next play out of my hand.
Okay. I think it's good. I think it's interesting. You draw a card that you potentially get rid of a card you don't want to draw a card.
Yeah. I think potentially. I don't think that happens that often.
What deck does this want to go into, though?
I want to play 1/3s in Paladin.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to toss my
Aldor Attendant.
Or my 0-cost card or my 2 mana buff.
No, that's true. Hunter doesn't want to run this, right? Hunter might, because drawing a card can be good for Hunter.
Yeah.
And most of their follow-ups are going to be able to be played anyways because it's Hunter Curve is so low cost.
Yeah. It's kind of cycle too, like
Cycle, and it's really good for class. It's cycle for classes that don't have a ton of cycle.
yeah. It's a weird cycle.
It is
I
a
think
weird
it's a
cycle.
2.
I
I
could,
think it could see fringe support or fringe play.
yeah, I could. It's almost a 3 for me, but I think it's fringe enough that it stays a 2.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what commons?
I want to talk about a couple of these.
I do too. Let's you go through yours first, and then I'll go
Okay.
through any ones I have left over.
So you remember that idea where we were going to mill your opponent's hand by playing a 4-drop in it?
Yes.
Banana Vendor does that better. I think if we're going to play that kind of deck, we're going to play this in it. But I think it still doesn't fit. Probably
No.
a 1.
Yeah, we're not gonna. There's no real reason to milk decks right now. There's not a lot of combo, and if you really are that scared of combo, you're just gonna play Tiktakus and Warlock. But
Yeah.
I want to talk about the next 2 cards. They're not
Big
together,
time.
not together, but I want to talk about them. First one's Circus Amalgam. 4 mana 4/5 with taunt, minion type all. What do you think about this card?
Oh, it's a 4-mana 4/5 taunt, dude.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm aroused.
It's really good. The all kind any deck that's running Mazoth runs this.
Yep.
How
How many decks?
That's the thing though. We don't know how many decks are gonna run Nazoth. But also this is just a pretty good tempo play. If you want to make Demon Warlock, you can put this in there.
Good stats for the cost, but also taunt.
The taunt is juicy.
I think
it's a card to be really excited about. I think for the next year and a half that this is in standard, it's going to be a good card. Hello?
I'm gonna look at this card and smile.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. What do you? You kind of cut out for a second. Might be my internet.
Okay.
Do you want to give it? I want to give it a 3.
Oh, okay, sure. I was gonna give it a 2, but it's fine.
He makes me smile. He makes you smile. He can be a 3. It's really good in arena. Like really.
You know what?
Good.
You're right. He does make me smile. Three's good. This card's a 5.
He's
Corrupt Medic's a 5, right?
Yeah, Battlecry restore 4 health. Already really good. Corrupt, deal 4 damage instead. So this is part of that OTK you were talking about.
So flexible. Yeah. But even outside of the OTK, I think it's so flexible.
Yeah, and like Warlock can run this card too in their control corrupt deck.
Yeah. Heal 4 for Warlock or deal 4 for Warlock? Cool. For 4 mana and a body? And a body's like not even that bad.
A body is pretty standard for a 4-cost minion too, so.
Yeah. This is a really cool corrupt card because it's not really a corrupt card. It's I choose which effect I want.
Well, to an extent though. Like, what if I don't need healing on turn 5, but I need to clear the board? I'll play Crazed Netherwing, and this will become corrupted and lose the healing effect.
Am I that upset that it loses the healing effect? Probably not.
No, it's deal 4 damage instead if it gets corrupted.
Claw Machine's probably a 1.
Well, I don't want to go through. Let's just go through the ones we want to talk about. I don't want to go through all these comments and talk about them. I have a few that I'm kind of interested in.
Ooh, Inconspicuous Rider.
Where's that one? There he is. 3 mana 2/2 Battlecry, cast a secret from your deck. This is that masked dude from Rakusan's Rumble without a condition.
Yeah.
This is a good card in any deck that wants to run secrets and get some value off it. This is a good card. I think this is a 4.
Yeah, 4's good. Not much to say about that. I think it's good. It's bad tempo play, but we're putting a secret in place, so that's sick as hell.
What do you think about kind of jumping around Darkmoon Statue? 3 mana 0/5, which isn't good. If your minions have +1 attack though, but corrupt, this has +4 attack.
I don't care for it.
Okay, I think it could be good in a deck that wants to flood the board. This can be pretty good. You bloodlust
what
one. Bloodlust one turn, and then follow up with this another turn, so with minions on board.
Okay, you just had a fallacy in that sentence there.
Okay, what was the fallacy?
You said, I have a board. I play Bloodlust and they don't die?
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't get there.
Then don't play Bloodlust. Make some value trades, build the board a little bit bigger, and then Bloodlust later.
Okay.
Or why wouldn't I just play another Bloodlust?
Because you don't. It's in your deck and you're shaman, so you don't have any draw.
No. If I don't have any draw, why would I want to draw this one? This is worse than Bloodlust when I draw it.
So you're saying it's a 4.
Yeah, -3.
Okay. I want to bring that up. I saw Andrew from the Happy Hearthstone. I believe it was him talking about this a little bit, saying it was kind of a mini Savage Roar. I'm kind of agree with you a little more, but I think that
it's a mini Savage Roar.
Yeah, I think it could be
In
interesting.
decks that want to flood the board, i.e. Druid, Shaman, potentially Paladin now, we have other ways to do that are better, i.e. Savage Roar, Bloodlust, Silverhand recruit buffs.
I have 2 more I want to talk about.
Okay.
Do you have any ones you want to talk about?
They might be the same ones you want to talk about, so you go first.
So, I don't want to talk about this card because for half of this effect, but I want to talk about this card for the other half. The Gyroworm, 3 mana 3/2 elemental. If you played an elemental last turn, deal 3 damage. So right now this card's not good. There's not enough elemental support for this card to be good.
This guy.
Yes, but if elemental support comes back in Shaman or Mage, this card's good. Dealing 3 damage on 3, pretty good.
I don't want to play it, but okay.
It's a 1 now, but in any deck that starts to tempo out and curve out well with elementals, it becomes much better.
Yes.
I don't want to play... when this comes out on Tuesday, I'm not playing this card. A year from now, if there's more elemental support, I'm playing this card.
Okay.
So, for now, it's a 1. Could possibly be a...
With potential.
Yes. I think this card has the most potential of the whole set to be better as time goes on.
Sure.
And the other card I want to talk about is Wriggling Horror. It's the very bottom.
Okay.
2 mana, 2/1, Battle Cry, give adjacent minions +1/+1. Giving adjacent minions stats is always good. They've always come down on 4 or 5. This comes down on 2.
Oh yeah.
This is
2 mana, 2/1, summon a 2/2 with charge.
Yeah, this is good. Like, this is not a bad card at all.
This is a 4 or a 5.
I'd say this is
a good card.
I'd say this is definitely a 4, leaning really hard into a 5.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about a couple more.
Okay, what you got?
So, right here, Strong Man.
Okay.
This is a Warlock card. Twisting Nether, play this for 0.
Oh yeah.
This is a Druid card. Survival of the Fittest, play this as a 10/10 for 0.
Do you follow...
Corrupting this does not do the same thing as other corruptions. This is tempo.
Right.
I don't have to wait another turn to play this. It can be an 8-drop. It's not a 9-drop. And when it's an 8-drop, if I'm clearing the board and playing a 6/6 with taunt for 0, I'm happy.
Yeah. Did you follow Old Guardian on Twitter?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He submitted a Corrupt Warlock deck for the Reddit Theorycraft, and this was in his deck. And when I saw that, I was like, it feels like he's just putting every Corrupt card into the deck. But now that you explain that, I think you're right.
No.
Twisting Nether being destroy all minions, summoning 6/6 or 2 6/6s is really good.
Yashiraj after Yashiraj.
Yep.
I don't think this works with Galakrond. I wish it did, but...
No, it doesn't, because it's the same cost.
Yeah. This would be better as a 6 mana 5/5.
Yes.
But it is still very good. I think it's a 4.
I think it's a 4 as well.
Last one I need to talk about, I guess, would be the Murloc prize vendor.
Yep, I'm right there. Cool.
It's mill stuff. It's Cold Light, but smaller.
2 mana, 2/3,
Cool.
Murloc, Battlecry, draw a card. Yeah, it's a good
Both
card.
players draw a card.
Both
players
draw
draw a card.
Both players, yes. It also, Murloc decks notoriously do not have a ton of draw, Paladin and Shaman specifically. It helps them out with their own game plan also. Um, is there anything that's out? What kind of deck do you want to run this in that's not a Murloc deck?
Mill Warlock.
Oof. Okay, I'm down.
We can kill your opponent faster.
I want to.
I mean, it's better. It's better than like these banana dudes, right?
Much better, yeah.
Making your opponent draw when you want them to draw is pretty good. It's pretty situational, but it's also like just kind of fine, right?
Yes. So what do you want to rate this card?
Probably a 3, but I think we should just be aware of it. 2. I think a 2, but we should just have it. It's not as pack filler as it looks.
Okay.
It can exist and do things.
I agree with all of what you just said.
And then last one would be a Knife Fender, potential to be a finisher. That's it.
Battlecry deal 4 damage.
2. 2, but potential to be a finisher.
Yeah, it can close out aggro games pretty quickly. One other one I want to talk about real quickly. I saw this one, Showstopper. 2 mana 3/2 Death Rattle, silence all minions. What do you think of that? I don't want to go into a big discussion on it, but what do you think of it?
It's really slow. If I want to silence something, I want to do it immediately.
Okay, so we're saying 1.
There's no rush. Yeah. You should make all of the cards that we didn't talk about a 1, just so the stats can be
okay. We'll
better.
Do that real quick. Yeah, all the cards we didn't talk about are pretty much just going to be cards we're never going to play.
So this Darkmoon's a 2, probably. I don't know.
Sylas Darkmoon. So I did have a thought about this. All the cards that are released before the expansion, like Vargoth, Kael'thas, Transfer Student, are usually sometimes memey. Kael'thas and Vargoth not as much. But they usually show like interesting things and new things about the expansion. And I feel like Sylas falls in that category much more than Kael'thas or Vargoth. Like Vargoth and Kael'thas are just good cards, and Sylas Darkmoon is just kind of an interesting card.
Yeah, no, he's fine. There's nothing else.
No. So what do we got up at the top? What do we look like?
Nothing too impressive. I mean, Priest is still our highest rated class just because we really think Res Priest is gonna happen. And then Shaman's the next highest class because they got a couple powerful cards.
Warlock's next highest. 2/8 is
Warlock
higher.
is
higher than 2/7.
Yeah, Warlock is next highest. And that's because we like Warlock cards.
Well, they also got 2 really good legendaries.
And I think Druid is higher than 2.5.
Yeah, but
because they have 2 neutral cards.
Yeah, they have some good neutral cards. Demon Hunter's a little skewed because they got more cards than the rest of the classes, so that's something to be aware of. But I feel like the rest is pretty on point with where everything should be. Warrior seems higher than it should be, in all honesty.
Yeah, Warrior should be garbage tier. This is also skewed because the best way to look at this would be the best cards, right? Like,
yeah. which is Yogg.
We don't.
Actually, at the bottom it says how many average we gave out, I believe.
Oh yeah. Only 1, 6, 5.
5 10s, 4 20s, nice, 3 18s, 2 32s, and 1 48. And 48 ones, I mean.